You ever catch yourself thinking about why it would be important to get a CDL? Like, more pay, not living paycheck to paycheck. You know, coming out here getting a CDL, it's good and the money's good, but do you really think about how hard this is going to be? You got to think about some of the stuff that's going on, like the freight market. You know, the freight market's always up and down. Sometimes you're making tons of money out here, sometimes you're not. You have to learn how to manage your money. There's a lot of stuff that's involved into this trucking. If you're pretty quick at learning and being able to adjust and save your money when you need to, when you make extra, you know, you'll be fine. Why would I choose Prime though? Why would I choose Prime? That's one of the questions that I got here recently. Hey, why did you choose Prime? The reason I chose Prime is because I looked into the trucking schools and I thought about going to one, and I was like, man, it's not a guaranteed job after you finish. Like, yeah, they were gonna help me get my CDL, but it's not a guaranteed job. So I was like, man, what if I'm not good at backing? What if I'm not good at truck driving? I'm gonna pay all this money. I'm gonna be out all this money, risking it all for a chance that the CDL school is gonna teach me everything I need to know. How good are they gonna make me by the end of this class? That's some of the things you gotta think about. So I started looking into guaranteed jobs after you get your CDL, like a company helping you get your CDL. And I did some research, and I should have done way more, but I did some research and looked into some different companies and found out that Prime had the highest paying. Still does. We're the highest paying whenever it comes to training. During the PSD phase, you get a stay at the campus for orientation. You got your hotel room paid for and your meals during orientation. Then you get a $200 a week loan, and that's for whatever you need out here: food, bedding, whatever you may need for the time before you start making your own money. And that's a loan of $200. It's tax free. I see guys, they get that loan, they're all like, oh man, I got a $200 loan. What do? They run over to Walmart and buy a Xbox One or whatever. They buy an Xbox with that money that they should be saving, because they're probably going to need it. They might need it, they might not, but they don't have their priorities right. Why would you go buy an Xbox with that loan they gave you? How are you going to eat? Think about that. I know a lot of people like issues at home with family and money at the bank, and you have to pay your bills. You might use some of that for, you know, some stuff like that, especially a phone bill. You're going to need your phone out here because your trainer's going to have to call you by a phone. So you're going to need a phone. You need to pay that bill. But, you know, guys, save that money the best you can. Be smart with it. Don't just blow it on like an Xbox or something like that. Then you go to TNT phase where you start making some money, you know. And a lot of times, the TNT money, getting paid TNT, in TNT, the minimum is $800 bucks, $800 or $900, whatever it is. I think it's, man, I went blank right now. But, you know, you got that guaranteed amount, and you can make more than that. So could you imagine, like, if your trainer and you are running hard and you're out there doing work, you get paid more than that? Some of us didn't even make that much in an entire month before we came out here to drive trucks. So we're like, we start getting paid like that, we're all like, man, I'm making a lot of money. Some people will take that TNT money and they'll be like, you know what, I got a job here, I'm not done with TNT yet, but I'm gonna acquire a new car or a new bill or a house payment, stuff like that. Stop acquiring debt until you're finished with your training and until you really know what it's going to be like out here, until you've got a great idea, like, hey, I'm on my own now, I'm running my truck, I'm learning how to run my hours, and I'm maximizing the amount of money that I can. Then start being wise with it. Don't get a car payment that eats up your whole first check. You're all like, well, that's okay, I got 3 more checks that month. You're not thinking about your house payment or your rent payment, whatever the case may be. That's your next check, and then your next check after that's going to be bills, and then the next check out of that's going to be some more bills and food and stuff. Like, you need to be able to live within your means. So don't be maxing out your money before you get it. Like, don't be like, hey, it's going to take my entire check to buy this vehicle. No, every month that's my payment on it. Don't do that. I worked with a lot of people that, like, well, we called it, and I've been there too, is became house broke. Pretty much most of your income is going to your house payment. And I've lived like that before. I learned a lesson though. Don't make your house payment 2/3 of what you make. You will not succeed. And to be truthfully, your house payment goes up like every so often because of property taxes and different stuff. Your house payment is going to increase, or that's what I've always seen. As you go on with your house payments, they start to rise, because you look at it right now, you're all like, oh, $1,000, we'll just say $1,000 a month, or $2,000 a month. We're all like, oh, it's $2,000 a month. Oh, I can afford that. I can afford that, because that's, you know, I can take a check and a half or whatever, you know, 2 checks to pay that. That's half of your income right there to pay on that house. You know, I say your house payment, to me personally, your house payment has to be lower than at least 1/3 of what you make. You're better off being at 1/4. So my house payment right now is about 1/4 of what I make. So I can afford to pay my house payment with my first check. We'll say my first check goes to my house payment. Then my next one goes to bills. And then my next one goes to a little bit more bills and maybe like groceries and stuff like that. I mean, whatever the case may be. And then my next check, my last check of the month, should be what I'm banking, like put that in savings or something like that. That way, as that house payment goes up, it's not going to affect you as much. If it does go up, what I've noticed is mine's went up. Maybe every year it goes up a little bit, like $20, $30, but still, that's going up. That's something that you don't think about when you buy a house in the first place. Just be wise with your money. Be smart out here. You know, getting a CDL is more than just, hey, I got a CDL, now I'm going to start making bank. It's getting a CDL helps you start your path to being financially well and keeps you working. And it's like a license that you can go to any trucking company. Like, you're not just stuck at one. You get your experience, and then you can go to the next one. You get more experience, you can go to the next one. Like, you shouldn't ever be put out of work because you have a CDL, because you can always just go to the next one. Just keep that in mind. And also, that CDL is pushing you forward to start getting the stuff that you want out there. Just be smart in the way that you get it. Don't spend all your money on items. Like, I heard this saying one time, and my friend used to say it. He said, hey, the man with the most toys at the end of his life is the winner. And I'm all like, I don't know about that. You can't take those toys with you, but then again, you can't take that money with you. Live life to the fullest and leave your kids everything that's left. I'm not saying that I'm gonna buy a bunch of toys and like Ferraris and stuff. I'm just saying, like, hey, hopefully I'll leave my kids with a nice amount that will help them further their self. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's just some stuff I was thinking about today, random stuff of the day, and I don't know. Maybe this video could help that one person out there that needed to hear this. Like, comment, and subscribe. Get that CDL.